Mikey, brave are you are there. Lassie, what you love me. And I could take you to the tune and show you Prosect money's honey. And busky we are silk and gun. Lassie, what you love me. Should I be content to prove with all the lives and fading love a heart that not on earth could prove? I say, would you love me? And eagle a broke winged sky, she would see the forest high and walk with me, she merrily. Lassie, would you love me? Sons of we bet hell on every mud. Will you negate that we'll say per Lassie for a louis for a henati or for ye the goat free my neighbor of facey. Mai kamo hai te kri Lassie bara James your hair like he saw that day I felt I say could I
Again, I wear a Baron's Heir. That's the Paul McKenna band, as yet unreleased. And Paul McKenna, though, will be performing with Ubeski Broad on Tuesday the 28th of August at Festival Folk at the Oak, venue 309. And that is a must-see, according to the Garden Sessions. I'm Jack Foster. With me is festival time, the Alvin, Simon and Theodore of the folk scene. I'm talking, of course, of Tom Harland, Dave the Angles Gimble, and yes, he's back.
I'm here, folks. I'm here. Sorry I couldn't make it last week. Sorry.
It's the Garden Sessions, gardensessions.co.uk, podcast at gardensessions.co.uk. Tom, what's on this week's show?
Oh, it's a really packed festival show. We've got loads of special festival reports. We've got
packed.
Jim Malcolm, Festival Folk at the Oak. Jack went to see him. Got an interview I got with Jennifer Wrigley of the Wrigley Sisters.
That's a good one.
Sinsheen. We've got, that was, I think, my favourite Festival Folk at the Oak performance. Fantastic harmony singers there. We've also got Angles taking on the powerhouse that is Lough at the Acoustic Centre at St Bride's.
The six-legged, three-headed beast, I think.
No, it's a band.
We've got a special folky news. We've got Dave's angle. Dave, any hints?
Any hints?
Give us a hint.
Hint one. This week's angle was performed by a folky siren who mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth just as her career was about to take off.
Intriguing.
That rings a bell.
There's a couple to choose from, though.
We've also got the official Garden Sessions download chart.
Will Nickel Mark still be at number 1?
Willie,
that's the question.
We'll see, as well as all
All
the
I've
best
been
in new
thinking about.
songwriting and traditional folk music.
Frank, how can people get the Garden Sessions?
Oh, there's many ways, Jack. There's many ways, but
Just
they
tell
can,
us but some.
They can listen to the Garden Sessions on Radio Britfolk, radiobritfolk.co.uk, or 98.8 FM in the Edinburgh area only, unfortunately. But we'll be going global soon enough. Leith FM.
We are global.
Where Leith lives.
Where Leith lives. Global radio station. World FM. I don't know.
The Garden Sessions at Co.uk is global.
It is.
In a big way.
Forgive me.
Anyway, moving on with our festival stuff. The first one we're going to hear. This was me that met up with Jim Malcolm last Sunday, I believe it was, downstairs at the Oak. It was a fantastic show, and I caught up with him afters.
Oh, I'm downstairs in the Royal Oak. It's been the end of another Festival Folk at the Oak evening, another packed house, and I'm joined by former lead singer of Old Blind Dogs, and now pretty much a performer in his own right, Jim Malcolm. It's good to have you on the Garden Sessions.
Yeah, thanks. I've just had a great gig and a pint of Guinness, and I'm feeling great.
You'll probably be used to larger venues, I would imagine, than downstairs at the Royal Oak, yet you still come back here. What is it that attracts you to a small venue like this?
Well, I have got a really strong, connections with this space. I came here years and years ago. When I was a callow youth, I kind of cut my teeth. Actually playing in public in this room, really, for the first time.
Over the course of the festival, I mean, are you up to much else at the moment throughout Edinburgh Festival?
Not really. No. Thing I'm really up to is looking after the kids who are on holiday at the moment, and just being a dad. I'm quiet for the next couple of weeks, and then I'm actually going on tour in the States, and that's the next big thing.
Do you find that if you're being pushed more towards the kind of the family side of things, that makes you get more into recording as opposed to live performance, or do you find the balance is still the same?
Well, I'm actually building up a kind of my own studio at the moment, and which is not finished. There's a wall missing at the moment, so that's kind of my next step, really. I'm hoping eventually to be able to actually record all my own CDs.
And throughout this festival, any acts that you're going to seek out if you have a chance? Any particular performances that you're going to go and see?
Well, actually, yes. I'm going to hopefully come back here and see a good old pal of mine called Ed Miller, who is doing a wee show here with Scooter Muse, who's a friend of mine who lives in Alabama. Ed Miller is an Edinburghian, is that right? An Edinburgher who now lives in Texas, and who I've met on many occasions, both here and whilst touring in the States, and so we look forward to hearing him.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Jim Malcolm. Hopefully it won't be too long before you're playing the Oak again. Cheers.
Hopefully not. Thank you. Cheers. How come the dog is down? Something in her bosom brings for the wonderful sign she brings, and our heart in his back of his things. Hallelujah, Duncan was a lad of grace. Hallelujah, Maggie's was a pity's case. Hallelujah, a Duncan couldn't he be her death, swelling pity smooth as wrath. Now the hookers and can't be beat. Hallelujah, a Duncan
swelling pity smooth as wrath. Now the cruise and canty be ha, ha, the woman, oh.
These festival folk club audiences always clap through the jingle. No respect at all. That's Jim Malcolm and what was the name of the song?
Duncan Gray.
Duncan Gray, of course,
Gray.
which incidentally is a former Garden Sessions #1, but
It
not by
is
Jim
indeed,
Malcolm,
yes.
by Tantiri. Angles and Frank, you're off straight after this to go and
Yes.
see another festival.
Literally,
folk show.
We're whisking away.
The chauffeur is going to arrive out the door as soon as we finish here, and we're off to see Malinky.
It's non-stop.
That being my sister.
Yeah.
Yes,
So yeah, Malinky's coming up. That's at St Bride's, isn't it? So
It is
yeah,
indeed.
it is, and we should hopefully have some kind of report on that next week.
It's
we're looking forward to it indeed. But yes, anyway, Tom.
It's news. It's folk.
What is it, Tom?
It's the folky news.
And the Folky News brought to you this week, as ever, in association with Paddy Bort's Wee Folk Club.
This is the summer, this is the festival, so we don't have wee folk clubs at the Oak, but we've got festival folk at the Oak. Every night from 8:30 to 11 o'clock, around 11, we're getting on in the festival, and I think it's the last week of the official fringe, but we're still going strong, and we'll be on here till the beginning of September. But on Tuesday the 21st, we've got Robin Lang here. Robin, of course, started singing in the Oak, and now is one of the most famous Scottish singer-songwriters, a man who knows more about whiskey than we ever care to forget. Fantastic stuff. Eddie Walker and Fraser Spears, new English-Scottish duo, singing the blues down here on the 22nd of August. Gillian McDonald and Frank McLaughlin will be out of the woods here in the Oak on the 23rd of August. Then on the 24th, we've got visitors from America. Ed Miller, of course, a Scot but living in Austin, Texas, with Scooter Moose from Alabama, will be here on the 24th of August. Healy O'Leary will bring their hilarious reels and jigs and songs to the Oak on the 25th of August. Tim O'Leary on the 26th. And Gavin Marvick and his musical pals will hold court at Festival Folk at the Oak on the 27th of August. And Paul McKenna and Ubeski Broad, who did a wonderful gig at the start of the year here at the Wee Folk Club, will be here on the 28th of August.
We were there for Paul McKenna and we'll be there again. Paul McKenna opening the show today. But this is the Folky News. Old Blind Dogs announced September tour dates for Four on the Floor. Since forming in 1990, the Old Blind Dogs have stood on the cutting edge of Scotland's roots revival. Taking their name from an old-timey American song, the band has developed its own trademark style, with dynamic percussion and bluesy harmonica fueling the delicately phrased melodies of traditional songs. In 2004, the Dogs won the coveted Folk Band of the Year honour at the Scots Traditional Music Awards. 15 years is a long time in the life of any band, and most who reach that milestone are content to rest on the tried and true formulas that have worked in the past. Not so for Scotland's Old Blind Dogs, whose newly released Four on the Floor takes them bravely in many new directions. The tracks on Four on the Floor run the gamut from contemporary songs such as Ewan MacColl's Terror Time and Davy Robertson's wonderful Star of the Bar, to tunes from Britain and Galicia, to tunes found, as many a favourite Dogs tune has been, in dusty old books. As to the title, Hardy claims that it's just a reference to there being four of us on the stage now, as far as I'm concerned, but everyone has their own theories, everything from manual gearboxes to us falling around a lot. You decide. They'll be touring America this September, and more information on exactly where can be found on the Old Blind Dogs website. That's oldblinddogs.co.uk. Second story, Tom's folk odyssey in his quest for folk domination of the world. I can confirm that my last show in the Bothy is approaching. The Garden Sessions, episode 42, released 25th September, will be my last broadcast from Scotland for 2 years, but it'll be a show to remember, as it'll also be our Knockengork special, covering the Heir 2007. I'll be heading off. initially to New Zealand, and then onward around the globe, seeking out the best in new songwriting and traditional folk music from every corner of the planet, and sending back reports all the while, creating, over time, an anthology of folk for Garden Sessions listeners. And of course, when I go, my studio position will be filled by a voice already familiar to Garden Sessions listeners, the one and only Frank Burkitt. That's the folk odyssey.
Wow.
A bit of pomp and circumstance.
My God. I've never been introduced quite like that. Oh, I was welling up.
It'll be a sad day and
for
exciting
Tom's
day at the
last
same time.
I hear tell there is going to be a fantastic Tom montage at the end of Tom's last ever
So they say.
broadcast. A Tomtage.
Well, Angles has already called it the Tomtage. Angles.
The official Garden Sessions download chart. The official Garden Sessions download chart.
At 10, it's Behold the Field of Megaliths with Weir. At 9, it's
Still
down
there.
6 for Rantum Scantum with Hush. At 8, it's down 4 for Claire Mann and Aaron Jones with Saints and Sinners.
Way off in a distance, they rang the bell. Way off in a distance, they rang the bell. And it rang for the saints and the sinners as well. Way off in a distance, they rang the bell. Way off in a distance, they rang the bell.
At 7, it's down 5 for the man himself, Frank Burkitt.
A tactical retreat, Frank.
Frank.
That's Military Band featuring Cassandra Steele.
What's going on?
At 6, it's down 5 also for Nick Allmark. Carry You Home to Freedom.
It can mean only one thing, I
It
guess.
means a
Number
brand new Garden Sessions download chart number 1. At 5, it's a re-entry for Laurie Watson with Cape on Tree. At 4, it's a new entry for One Glass Eye with Biogradjanka.
Nice.
Good to see One Glass Eye back in the chart.
Good wee tune. At 3, it's up 5 for Laurie
Good
Watson
wee
again.
tune.
What? It is. It's
See her on
good
Friday
wee
the
tune.
24th, Laurie Watson.
Indeed, Laurie Watson.
Yes.
That's with When Maggie Gangs
Must
Away.
see.
At 2, it's a new entry for Carolyn and Nona Scott with Going Home Far Away.
New entry at
Right
number
up to
2.
number 2. for
Right up to
Charlie.
number 2, but
Straight in at
not
2.
quite number 1.
Who's number one, Angles?
The official
Who is it?
Garden Sessions download chart number 1 is a re-entry for One Glass Eye with Biogradjanka.
Ooh, good lord.
That was the brand spanking new number one Glass Eye, Biogradjanka. And this last Friday the 17th of August, at St Bride's, Tom met Jennifer Wrigley and asked her how the gig went.
I thought it was great. It's always lovely playing in Edinburgh because there's so many faces that I recognise, and lovely warm crowd, and there's such a buzz in Edinburgh during the festival, isn't there? So it's you can feel it, coming from the people, the audience, and it's great. Yeah, it's just fab.
Now, you mentioned some of your influences there on stage from up in Orkney and Shetland. Could you just tell us a wee bit more about them?
Well, I learnt to fiddle really at school, but it wasn't until I started going to the Strathspey and Real Society, and you get them all over Scotland, groups that meet playing fiddle and accordion and such like, that I got really what you might call traditional training, because you can't really learn traditional music by going to classes and such like. You have to go and use your ears and watch people and get into the sessions and such like. So I was inspired by all these various fiddle players, mostly old men, I have to admit, and a couple of women too, that were just fantastic players, and they loved playing the music, and it was always about fun and enjoyment of the music, because it's relaxation, and although it can be extremely serious, they know when to make it that and when to make it fun too.
You certainly have a good fun element in your show. It's very funny sometimes. Now, your music's taken you all over the place, I believe. What are some of the places? You must have travelled much further afield than Edinburgh. Where are some of the best places that your music's taken you to?
I can't... where would we have played? Well, when we first started out on the road, if you like, we went to Norway. We've been to Norway several times. It was such a beautiful place to go. 5 or 6 trips to Australia, 15 or so trips across the North America, Canada, played in Brunei, Singapore, Bali, New Zealand. Too many places to sort of recite, as it were, but wherever they'll have us.
And what's upcoming for the Wrigley sisters? What can we expect in the future?
Well, we're trying to get another album finished. It's been a long time since we had an album, and it's time to get it done, I think, but we've been doing a centre of music in Orkney, where we live now, where we're basing ourselves, and we've been doing a lot of teaching up there, and it's just trying to find the time now to redirect back into playing and getting them, because we've been putting a lot back into the music in Orkney and teaching. It means that you've sort of given over yourself, if you like, to the kids and to all the people that want to learn. So it'd be great to try and find the time to get this album out that we've been working on for ages, just get it finished.
Well, good luck with that, and congratulations on a wonderful show tonight.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the festival while you're here. Thank you for joining us, Jennifer.
Cheers.
Jennifer Wrigley. Over the jingle.
There's always a jingle.
Jennifer Wrigley and the Wrigley sisters. They're at a great show at St Bride's. Wonderful show.
It sounded lovely.
And we'll see if we can find some of their music to play at a later stage in the garden sessions, hopefully. Jack, what's coming up next?
This is the Garden Sessions, gardensessions.co.uk. Contact us at podcast at gardensessions.co.uk, and you can hear us on radiobritfolk.co.uk and 98.8 in the Edinburgh area. That's Leith FM.
Where Leith lives!
Folk indeed. Right, Angles, you gave us the clue. Performed by a folky siren who mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth just as her career was about to take off. I've got a few ideas. I think Tom looks like he's got an idea.
I've got an idea.
I haven't a clue.
I feel it might be Shelagh McDonald.
That's what I was thinking too. But apparently she turned up again recently. A few years ago.
Did she indeed?
Yeah, she'd been living the hippie trail or something.
I thought she'd disappeared up to Siberia. But
Angles probably knows more. Dave, who is it? What is your angle?
Well, it is Shelagh McDonald.
Hey.
Well done. Good guess.
We know our folk.
No attempts at what the song was, but then you didn't really have a clue for
Could
that.
have been
But
anything.
it's the Dowie dens of Yarrow.
Well, there you go.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lady in the north. I know to see her tomorrow. She was courted by and sat drinking at the wine. Sat drinking wine in Yarrow. And they made a vow amongst themselves for to fight for her. Walk down the high, high hill, down to the halls of Yarrow, and there he spied 9 armed men come to fight with him. Of you, there's one of me. That's not an equal marrow. But I'll fight yous all, one by one, for the last that I love on Yarrow. He fought and he flew, and he fought most fairly till our brother John came in from behind and murdered him most foully. Dowie dens of Yarrow. So she's walked down the high, high hill, down to the halls of Yarrow. And there she spied her lover John, lying pale and dead on Yarrow. Her hair it was 3/4 long, the color it was yellow, they wrapped it round his middle so small and bore him up the Yarrow. Oh, Father dear, your 7 sons, you may wed them of the slough on Yarrow.
That was Shelagh McDonald with the Dowie Dens of Yarrow. That was the angle for this week, and that's from the album
Good
Let
song,
No
Dave.
Man Steal Your Time. Yeah, it was. No, I like
Shelagh
that
McDonald.
one. From the album Let No Man Steal Your Time, a full collection of Shelagh McDonald's recorded works, but they were only released recently. As Jack said, she disappeared off the face of the planet and turned up after 40 years. She'd been living the bohemian lifestyle after a sort of bad experience with drugs.
We've all been there.
LSD, I think. Dave, what's your angle?
There's the jingle.
Well,
Where it always is.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, it starts off. There's this girl, and
I ne'er could find her marrow. Angles, elaborate.
okay, right. It means one of two things. It means either that there was never another girl like her, or
Right.
it means that she's like a legend. There's no the writer of the song's never found any sort of evidence.
So
that she
marrow
actually
has
exists.
marrow
As in physical evidence, or marrow as in
The vegetable.
like.
Hmm.
No, not that.
Okay.
Go away.
Fair play. So she was
Anyway,
courted.
she was being courted by 9 different guys,
9.
as well as
My
a young
word.
ploughboy from Yarrow.
So that's 10 altogether.
10
She's
altogether.
a popular lass.
Big bed.
Yeah, and the 9 guys, they were big drinkers, and they weren't necessarily the nicest of chaps, and they all made a vow that they were going to fight the hand of the fair maiden.
Was she in
Against each other.
But no. Well, kind of, yes, against each other. But
Was
also
she in on
mainly,
it, though?
No, she
Or-
didn't know anything about it.
Right.
Innocent
Innocent victim of the whole thing.
Yeah, she was just sort
So
of
surely
besotted
she'd
with the
have to
ploughboy.
agree for the fight to be legitimate.
Well, yes and no.
Because one of
yes,
them could
she would
win
have
and
to.
then
Yes, she would have to agree for it to make for it to be meaningful. But at the same time, if they kill all the other suitors, there's no one left. There's no competition. So I think this is the route they're going
there's only
down.
9 guys in the whole of the Dowie Dens of Yarrow.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a small place.
Anyway, she's just off with the ploughboy. She's besotted, and she's sort of in
Yeah.
love with him, and she does all this sort of stuff, and she's found out that these 9 guys are going to come and fight him for her love. So
Maybe
she
he
gives him a
ploughs a mean
sword to
field.
defend
Why are
himself.
ploughboys always such popular lovers in folk songs?
Because they're rugged and they work outside.
They
and
treat their
they've got
plough
big
very
muscles.
much like they treat their women, Tom. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. They used
There
to
you
have
go,
ploughing
insight from
competitions
Frank.
outside the back of my house as
Did
a
you
child.
indeed, Jack?
Yeah. I didn't take part.
Stepping back down memory lane.
Well, it's nice to know about your childhood, Jack. We don't have much time, so we're going to move on swiftly from that. He's gone off, and he's sort of gone to meet his destiny, if you will. He's decided he can't avoid it, so he might as well meet it face on.
Right.
And he's met these 9 guys on the Dowie Dens of Yarrow, and he said, "Look, I'm going to fight you one at a time. I'll take you all on, and we'll just see who wins Fair
The
Maiden's hand."
ploughboy's a bit of a Bruce Lee.
He
Taking
is.
them all on at once.
He is. He takes
How
them
does
on
he
one at a
fare?
time. He fares quite well. He beats the living
He is a Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
whatever out of them, and he fares pretty damn well. They're all dead, and he's there saying, "Yes, I've won. Fair lady is mine. It's all going to be cool." And then he gets stabbed in the back by her brother.
Oh,
and
for
dies.
crying
That
out
is
loud.
harsh.
Well, wait a minute, but the brother surely isn't.
Yeah, what's a brother
Well,
got to do
he's
with
done
Where's
a
he
defend.
vested interest?
He's defending his sister's honour. He thinks this ploughboy's not good enough for her, kind of thing.
Ah.
And her father's
He just
obviously
slayed 9 men.
Well, this is true. He's
what does
proved
he
his
have
worth.
to do?
He's proved his worth, but
Oh,
then he's
technically only slew
only a
3.
ploughboy.
Oh, right.
Did he?
Yeah, three
three of them
wounded,
ran
3
away.
withdrew.
Yeah,
they
Tom,
withdrew.
the lyrics you've got aren't the same as the ones in the version that was played.
Anyway.
Oh, fair
unfortunately.
play.
So he slayed 9 men, but that wasn't good enough. Why?
No, it wasn't good enough. Well, her father's obviously in agreement with the brother. He's basically saying, "Look, it's gonna be fine. You know, I'll wed you to someone else, and it's all gonna be cool." And
She wanted the
she says, "No, it's not good enough. I wanted the
Just let
ploughboy.
her.
She
There's
has
no
a
one
disturbing
else."
dream, does she not, Angus?
She does, yes. Sorry, I mean, I've missed that out. She dreams that she's pulling heather green. So it's sort of
Why green? Why not purple?
because it's being cut before its time.
I
You know,
see.
so she dreams that he's
That's a
been
lovely
killed,
tangent.
and she goes to her father and says, "Look, this is the terrible thing." And he says, "No, it's okay because you know there's other men." And she says, "No, it's not the same. You
No,
can
she
wed
wants
all
the
your sons
playboy.
off. You've got 7 sons. You can wed all them off tomorrow,
7?
but
He's been productive.
your daughter, there's no one good enough for me other than the ploughboy, which is dead. You know, he was the
Gutted.
one,
Right.
and now
Yeah.
he's dead."
So what does
What's
she do
that?
then?
Well, she goes looking for him, and she walks up the hill, and she walks through the glens and stuff, and eventually she finds him, and he's lying there dead, and she's crying and distraught, and the father comes and he says, "Look, it's
Get over it.
it's gonna be all right." And she says, "No, it's not. He's dead, and
Dave,
it's all a field of woe, basically."
Dave, what's the moral?
The moral is essentially, if there's 10 guys fighting over you, chances are the one that doesn't want to fight's probably the best one to go with.
Good moral.
It's a nice
But
one.
he will end up dead.
That your angle?
Yeah.
Tom and I met up with Sinsheen
Oh,
the other night,
wonderful
who
band.
consists of...
Barbara Dimmick and Christine Kidd.
It was a fantastic show at Festival Folk at the Oak.
It was indeed.
And, well, here's the report.
So I'm downstairs in the Royal Oak. We've just seen my favourite festival folk at the Oak that we've had so far. It was Christine Kidd and Barbara Dimmick, collectively known as Sinsheen. I'm joined by technical guru of the garden sessions, Andrea Mengini. What did you make of the event tonight?
Wonderful, I loved it.
I'm also joined by Penny Stone, who was watching Sinsheen tonight. Penny, what did you make of the gig?
It was grand. There were some excellent songs, there were some funny songs, and it was all pretty well delivered. I love a nice set of harmonies. Nice bit of guitar, nice bit of unaccompanied. It's nice to hear a bit of music unaccompanied from time to time.
It really made me wish I'd come to a few more of these sessions here for the
It's
festival.
my favourite one so far. I
Yeah, well, I've got the best one so far then. It was great, really enjoyed it.
I thought it was fabulous. They sang a lot of great songs you don't hear every time, you know. I thought they did a great job. Wonderful harmonies, great feisty women's songs. Fantastic.
World, there's a whole lot of trouble. In this world, there's a whole lot of pain. In this world, there's a whole lot of trouble, but a whole lot of ground to gain. Why take when you could be given? Why watch as the world goes by? It's a hard enough life to be living. Why walk when you can fly? Why walk when you can fly? In this world, there's a whole lot of sorrow. In this world, there's a whole lot of shame. In this world, there's a whole lot of sorrow, but a whole lot of ground to gain. When you spend your whole life wishing, wanting and wondering why, it's a long enough life to be living. Why walk when you can fly? Why walk when you can fly? In this world, there's a whole lot of cold. In this world, there's a whole lot of blame. In this world, you've a soul for a compass and a heart for a pair of wings. There's a star in the far horizon, rising bright in an azure sky. For the rest of the time that you're given, why walk when you can fly? Why walk when you can fly? There's a star in the far horizon, rising bright in an azure sky. For the rest of the time that you're given, why walk when you can fly? Why walk when you can fly?
Still
never
going on.
ending applause.
Listen, it was that good. Hey.
Why walk when you can fly? Not the most ecologically friendly of tunes. As Paddy said, I'm nicking his jokes.
It was a good joke.
What have I become?
Paddy was on fire, though.
He was on fire that night. But so were Sinsheen. They were brilliant.
It was a brilliant show.
Amazing singers.
What's coming up on next week's show? Just out of intrigue, because there's
we've
still
got
more festival stuff.
A veritable feast of stuff coming
It's going to be good next week. Well, as you know, we're going to see Malinky.
Malinky tonight.
In about half an hour from now, folks.
On Tuesday,
yes,
we've
it's going
got
to be tight.
Robin Lang and Ed Miller. Walker and Spears on Wednesday. Sophie Ramsey Thursday. Laurie Watson 3 on Friday.
Definitely. Guess who's coming up on? Is it the Saturday?
Oh,
it's the Gawkin man.
Yes, the Godfather himself. And I'll be going to that. That should be a treat.
I'm looking forward to hearing that report, Jack.
That'll be good. Angles, we've got a...
Yeah, Will.
Well, obviously Will,
Will.
because he's a legend. Angles, you met up with... We didn't meet up with Lau, just as Tom didn't meet up with Sinsheen there, and just met up with some people after the show. But you met up with Chris Stone, I believe.
I met up with Chris Stone the next day.
Down the end of a telephone
around.
line by the sounds of things.
No, it was outside, and there was horrible noises and stuff, and it all had to be twiddled with to make it acceptable for playing to the listeners. But I did meet up with him in person.
Let's be honest.
And we talked about Lau and what we both thought about it.
Well, shall we hear that report now?
Indeed.
Then? This was Lau performing at
St Bride's
Wednesday.
That's Wednesday, okay.
Well, I'm sitting outside Sweet ECA now with Chris Stone, Fiddler with Frank Burkitt. We were both at Lau last night, and unfortunately I couldn't hang around afterwards to get some audience reaction, so I'm going to get it out of Chris now. Chris, give us your opinion of last night's performance by Lau.
G'day. Well, I saw Lau play down at Cambridge Festival a few weeks ago, and it was a great show, very impressed, kind of a tent jam gig. It was fantastic. And this was more of a sit-down concert venue with lots of space, quite a big sound coming from the band, and I'd say maybe about 100 people in the house. So it was a bit more formal, and I think they played up to that concert quite well. They are a bit more focused in what they were playing, and a lot more detail you could be heard, so that was fantastic. Lots of energy. I love their compositions, and they're obviously great performers. I felt that there were a couple of holes kind of in the quality of the whole concert. I think Chris's voice, I've heard him sing a lot better, but I'm not sure if that was the sound. There was obviously a couple of issues with the sound that night, but instrumentals were rocking basically as usual. Yeah, and other outstanding features were probably Martin Green's fantastic stage repartee. That was fantastic.
And you'll never see a man more energetically play the squeeze box either.
I doubt it, without the squeeze box actually falling apart as it was being played. Yeah, so it was a great show, very entertaining, and I'd definitely recommend people go check them out and buy their CDs. And good show.
Chris Stone, thanks very much.
What can men do against such reckless tunes? That was Lau, everybody. Dave caught up with them Wednesday the 15th. It was a good show. I like Lau. I do like Lau. I have often listened to their CD.
Very good.
Often. I really do. Yeah, really good.
Pounding band.
Was it a good show, Angles?
I can't decide. As I did write a review of it. I don't know. I just some things about them turn me off completely.
Why didn't you get an interview with them either? Was Drever giving you the cold shoulder?
I had to leave, Jack. Unfortunately, I couldn't hang around. Is the simple reason.
Well, that was that, ladies and gentlemen.
Wraps all that up. Well, it's been a pounding show of festival stuff, and it's probably time for this
podcast.
It's
over. What a show, though.
What a show, yeah. Our bits in between, not so sure, but stonking reports all the way through.
The folk jewels were good.
And there's loads more coming up next week, as we said before. Laurie Watson, 3 Malinky, who Frank and Dave are about to go from
Gawkin.
Dick Gaughan, the godfather of folk himself.
Walker and Spears.
That should be a good one. Now that one's been highly recommended by Paddy Bort. That's worth seeing.
Sophie Ramsey, Silver might take
Laurie
her on.
Watson.
Indeed,
Have we
Chris
said
Silver.
that already?
Yes, we've said that already, Dave. Keep up.
Sorry.
Stay with it. Anyway, till next time. This is our penultimate festival show, folks.
Oh, it's been so quick.
I know it just races through.
I missed one of them, but it's been quick.
Yeah, you don't miss 2 of them.
Yeah, this is the first one you've done, Frank.
You'll find I did the first one. It was Tom that missed the first one. Come on, boys.
You're absolutely right.
Addicted to folk.
So next week will be our last festival special and our last weekly one. So then we can get a rest after that. Thank goodness.
Then it's not.
We can have a lie in.
Knockengoric is approaching there, but we'll get onto that later.
Let's deal with
Cross that bridge when we come to it.
Episodes down the line, and that'll be Tom's last
river.
episode. Indeed. Anyway, till next time. When there'll be loads more festival stuff. This is the Garden Sessions, and gardensessions.co.uk is where you'll find us. You contact us at podcast@gardensessions.co.uk. From myself, Jack Foster, Tom Harland, Dave the Angles Gimble, and Frank Burkitt, take it easy.
See you later on.
Catch you later down the folky trail.
Cheerio.
And we'll leave you with Bellevue Rendezvous, who were playing at Festival Folk at the Oak last week with Serbian set.
Thank you.